Alright, so today we're going to do 3.2, lesson 3.2 equations as functions. So functions can be represented by an equation, which is just a rule for math, which will generate ordered pairs by taking an input x that results in a certain output y. The x value is called the independent variable because you can pick it. So that's the number you choose. It can be whatever you want it to be. And the y is the dependent variable. Sorry, I was trying to turn my volume down. Because its value is determined by the x value. So whatever x is will determine the y value. So y depends on x in order to exist. The graph of an equation is the set of all ordered pairs, which often forms a line or a curve. Okay, so you have probably done tables like this before where you fill in the table and then you graph by plotting the points. So that's what we're going to do today. So you substitute what you have in the x one at a time for the x in the problem. And you just put this part of the problem in your calculator. Okay, the y is not going to go in your calculator. So I'm going to substitute always using parentheses. So make sure you put your package in a box before you mail it. You don't want to put it in the mail truck without a box because then it won't work. So make sure that it is in parentheses before it goes into the function. So negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. And then you would do the next one. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. And then you would do the next one. Negative 2 plus, plus 4 is 2. And then 0, what is the matter with me? Plus 4 is 4. So once you have filled your table, then you're ready to plot your points. So plotting points, you remember x goes left or right, so negative 5 goes to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then y goes down 1 like that. Okay? Then the next one would be negative 4, so you would go left, 1, 2, 3, 4, but this time y is 0, so that means you go up or down. You just stay on the x-axis. The next one you would go left 1, 2, but this time you're going to go up because it's positive 1, 2. So negatives go left and down, positives go right and up. So this last one, 0, means you're not going to go left or right. You're simply going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then notice how, if you connect those points, and always use a ruler or straight edge to get a nice straight line. And all of these on this page should make a line. And all of the ones in this section on IXL should make a line. So make sure you're paying attention to where your points are. If it doesn't make a line, you've made a mistake. Okay? So this next one, if I was going to do this one in my calculator, I would use the method where you can copy your answer so that you don't have to retype the fraction every time. So the first time you're going to make the fraction, use alpha y equals, and then 3 over 4. And then we're going to substitute negative 4 in for x. So that's parentheses negative 4 and then minus 2. So that's going to give you negative 5. Now, so that I don't have to retype all that, if you push second enter, it's going to retype it for you. And then you can use the left arrow, go over to the negative and hit delete, and then change the 4 to a 0 because the next number is 0. So while that's flashing on top of the number, just change it to the number you want it to be, and then push enter. That would be negative 2. Then for the next one, I'm going to do second enter, and then change the 0 to a 4. And then for the last one, second enter, and I'm going to change the 4 to an 8. Just like that. All right, so then I am going to plot my points. So -4, -5 means that I go left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, -2 means I don't go left or right, I just go down 2. 4, 1 means that I'm going to go right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 1. And then this one, 8, 4, would be off my paper. So I can't do this one. This one only goes up to 5, so 8 would be way over here. So I can just use the 3 points that will fit on my graph. And as long as you have 2 points, 3 is better. The more you have, the better, but you have to have at least 2 in order to draw your line. So there you go. Well, all that's fine, and you can substitute those and do those just like that. But this calculator, and this is why we have you guys get this calculator, has a wonderful feature that will make your life easier. So if when you turn this on, you go to y equals, and I already have that typed in there, but I'm going to type it again. You can type this in exactly what is after y equals. So y equals, you don't type that, it's already there, see, y equals. And then you just type what comes after that. So the X you're going to use is this beside of the green button. So alpha is here. Beside of that is a button that has X and T and theta, that's a Greek letter, and N. So the only time you're going to use this is while you're making graphs. So you can't just use this to type it into the regular part of the calculator. So you're going to hit that. It's going to give you an X plus 4. Then if you push graph over here, so graph is right there, it's going to graph that. And look, that's the same. Now this is a little bit of a smaller, so let me adjust my window because this one was -5 to 5 instead of 10 to 10. And you're not going to have to do this for most things, so don't worry. But I will help you if you do. So if I change that so that those look the same, look how similar that looks. It's basically the same. Some other features, if you push zoom, you can make like a square. So now it's going to look a lot like that one because the calculator squared it up. So ours was a square, so now they look identical. And then if you push 6, so zoom 6, it's going to take you back to the original window, which is very handy sometimes. But here's the best part. Well, maybe not the best part, but the second best part. If you push second graph, it's going to give you the table. So you don't even have to do all that substitution. So you can see -5 equals -1. -4 is going to equal 0. -2 is going to equal 2. 0 is going to equal 4. So they're all there. And so all you have to do is type it into the calculator correctly. What a nice surprise. Aren't you guys glad you watched this video? You should definitely tell your friends that they should watch this video so that they can learn this neat trick. So if I am going to do this one in my calculator, I'm going to go to y equals, hit clear, so there's nothing in there, and then do 3x. And then I'm going to push second and table so that I can pick out the right numbers. So I need -2. -2 goes with -6. -1 goes with -3. 0 goes with 0. And 1 goes with 3. And if there's ever one that's not on there, you just use the up arrow to go towards negative numbers and the down arrow to go towards the positive numbers. So you can find the number that you need. Now, you can hit graph and look at it so that you know what it's supposed to look like. So it's going to be a steep line going up through 0, 0, which we have. But you are still going to have to hand plot these points. So -2, -6, well, that's actually off this graph. It would be like down here. -1, -3 would be here. So you go left 1, down 3. 0, 0 is the origin. And then 1, 3, you would go right 1, up 3. And then use your straight edge And notice I was really close with where I had that one. Okay, so there's that. So I'm just going to do these other ones kind of quickly to show you how to do it, because you can use your calculator on either your real actual calculator or your calculator on your Chromebook, your TI-84, to do this. So let's go to y equals, clear that out. So I'm going to do negative and then alpha y equals 3 over 2. Then put the x beside of it. Make sure it's not in the fraction, it's beside the fraction. And then plus 2. Then I'm going to push second graph so I can get the table. I need negative 2, which is 5. I need 0, which is 2. I need 2, which is negative 1. You can see I'm highlighting those as I go. And then I need 4, which is negative 4. Then I'm going to plot those points. So I'm going to go negative 2, 5. So I'm going to use this table now that I've filled in. So negative 2, 5 is up here. 0, 2. So 0 in the x means only go up or down. So you stay here. Don't go left or right. And then go up or down. So up to 2. 2, negative 1. Right 2, down 1. And then 4, negative 4. Right 4, down 4. And it does make a line, and then you can push graph from the table and it'll take you to the graph and you can see if it looks like the one that you drew. So that way it will help you make sure that you're doing it correctly. And you do need to put those arrows on your lines because those lines do keep going forever and ever. Like obviously this window is bigger, it goes out to 10 and negative 10, so it's going to keep going. So those arrows show that those are going towards infinity and negative infinity, just like a regular number line does. All right, the next one, negative x plus 1. So we're going to go y equals, clear, negative x. Make sure you use the negative that's at the bottom, not the minus. And then plus 1. And so then you're going to hit second graph to look at the table. So you've got negative 3, which is 4, negative 1, which is 2. So you're looking for the x because that's what you have, and then you're going to write down the y that goes with it. And then 0 is 1, and then 4 is negative 3. So then you're going to plot these points. So you're going to go left 3, 1, 2, 3, up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to do the next one, left 1, up 2. Then 0, you don't go left or right, up 1. And then the last one, you're going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1, 2, 3. And these need to make a straight line, which they do. And it is important that you make them straight, so please use a ruler or a straight edge of some kind. All right, and then if you want to double check, you just hit graph and it'll graph it, and sure enough, that's what it looks like. You can see right there it goes through 0, 1, just like ours does. That's great. All right, last one. If you want to pause the video and try it yourself and then see if you got it right, that would be an excellent thing for you to do. 1 minus 1 over 3 times x. Make sure the x is beside the fraction, not in the fraction. Then we're going to do second table, or second graph to get the table. Negative 3 goes with 2. 0 goes with 1. 3 goes with 0. And notice these, there's not as many on there because part of them are fraction answers. And then 6 goes with negative 1. All right, so then we're going to put these on our graph. So we've got 1, 2, 3 to the left, up 2, 0, don't go left or right, just go up to 1. And then we're going to go over to 3, 1, 2, 3, but this time the 0 tells us don't go up or down. So a 0 here says don't go left or right. A 0 in the Y says don't go up or down. So make sure you're not getting those backwards. And then 6 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like out here, and down 1. So it would be right about here. So let's draw that in. Use the 3 on the graph that you plotted correctly. Don't worry about that 6. See, I'm a little bit off on the 6 because there wasn't a graph there. And then there you go. Well, these arrows look terrible. And then we can push graph again and see if that looks right, and it sure does. You can see there's 0, 1, and then here's 3, 0. So that means that our graph is correct. All right, you guys do some of these in your calculator yourself and make sure you can get the same thing that I got, and let me know if you have any questions.